Hey, what's happening, everybody? Mac the Duelist coming at you again from the TCG Enterprise, where we talk about all your favorite card games. Now, you guys, Blackwings are back here, and I actually have an updated Blackwing deck for Edison format. For those who do end up playing Edison format, it basically is like Modern and Magic. It basically dates back for the 2010 era, like 2009, 2010. Back when things used to be original. Now with all the hardcore combos and all the other main floodgates and all the wild stuff that they do right now, this one is a little bit more of a slow, steady pace, but it's straightforward and very direct. This is how my deck used to end up being way back in the day. So it's a blast from the past, if you will. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on with the list, you guys. Blackwings are really high top tier in Edison format. Whether or not they change out and expand it a little bit more is on them. But we're going to take this thing over to our locals soon and see how well it plays out. So, starting off with you guys, we're going to be going with 3 Sirocco of the Dawn. At the time, I only had 1 Sirocco. Just got to figure that 3 at the time was really cloggy. But now that I see it out for Edison format, 3 is definitely needed. It basically acts as a Cyber Dragon, so it can summon itself right away. If your opponent has a monster, you don't. Not only that, it can also pump up one of the Blackwings onto the field, but that's the only one that can attack, but that's okay. It gets an attack boost, which makes it really, really fun. Then we're going to be going with 3 Shore of the Blue Flame. This is awesome. It's your go-to for Vayu, because Vayu cannot be special summoned, but you could cheat it out with this effect by negating it when it destroys opponent's monster by battle. Which is really, really, really good. And then we're going with 3 Boar of the Spear. Boar of the Spear is awesome. It has piercing, and not only that, it can special summon itself, which is great. Easy go-to when you're running out for your blizzards or any other things to go ahead and synchro summon out. It's really, really fun stuff. Then we're running 3 Kalut. This is our pumper. This one will pump up the monster that you control by 1400, which is good. Helps out in an even spot, especially if you have your arm wing out. If you can go ahead and give it a little bit of a boost, because it based off the damage or the difference when it gains a plus 500 attack when it attacks the defense positions and monsters, so you can boost up the attack even more and take out the difference from the life points, which is great. And then we're going to be going with 3 Blizzard at the far north. I ran 2 at the time, though I figure 3 is actually good in case if 1 goes out, you still have 2 for a backup. This allows you to go ahead and special summon your monsters back. As long as it allows them to get special summoned during the main phase here. This cannot be special summoned, but that's okay. You utilize its effect to go ahead and start getting into your synchro summons much faster. So that's your go-to for that. Then we're running 2 Vayu, Emblem of Honor. This is your setup place to go and get into your Silver Wind or any other kind of synchro monsters you want to get into for your Blackwings. It's really good to just get this thing right out into the graveyard right away. Your main go-to out towards this, you can go in, when you have your Shura, you go in for this, and negate its effect, you go in for a level 5, and basically so on, so on. 1 Gale, because we can go ahead and half the stats on towards a monster, special summon it, synchro summon right away. 1 Dark Arm Dragon is Dark Arm Dragon. It's great. Allows you to go ahead and have, if you have exactly 3 into the graveyard, you can special summon that out, and you can remove from play to go ahead, or banish if you will, and to go ahead and start popping stuff onto the field, which is great. 1 Gore's Emissary of Darkness is great. Allows you to go ahead and get a token based off the damage that you took. You can special summon him, and just start doing a whole bunch of whacking around. Really fun stuff. Can't go any more than that, to say for the very least. Now on towards our spells. The spells are pretty self-explanatory, you guys. Of course, we're going to be going with 2 Black Whirlwind. I'm not running 3 because Edison does not allow you to run a 3rd one. It only allows you to run 2, but that's fine. Who cares? It's Black Whirlwind. This is your main trump card for the deck. It's your main go-to. You want to get this out on your first play to go ahead and start searching out to get other Blackwings into your hand. That way you get to get the synchro summoning process going, gain field advantage, and then that's all she wrote. 1 Heavy Storm, because we can have a Heavy Storm because it was legal back then. So we can have 1 Heavy Storm. We could also have a Brain Control as well to utilize for a lot of effects. 1 Dark Eruption as well. Get our Blackwings back. Might as well. One Allure of Darkness, you can only have out for one Allure of Darkness, pretty much. That's why I end up using it for myself. One is Mystical Space Typhoon. It's Mystical Space Typhoon. Then we're going to be running 2 Book of Moon. It's Book of Moon. It's great. It's awesome. It's fun. I like it. So definitely get your Book of Moons in order for this here. As far as our traps, guys, our traps, honestly, one of the best traps that I know, that I have at least, in my disposal, is I have one trap dust shoot. Gives you first advantage onto the, it gives you first advantage when you can look into your opponent's hand. You go ahead and stop them from playing things, so that's always fun. Allows you to go ahead and see the hand, and that way you can see their next moves. 3 Icarus attack. It's Icarus attack. Self-explanatory. Attributive Winged Maze monster to pop 2 cards onto the field, which is great. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. It's great. Honestly, it's the only real in this format. It's a very high played trap card to run into this deck. So, or any other kind of deck for that matter that runs a little bit more on the aggressive side, but also a control based as well. There's a lot of things out there like Monarchs and other, really big things, and they special summon them out, and you can go ahead and just banish it right away. 1 Compulse. It's Compulse. Bounce back to the hand. It's fun. 1 Starlight Road, because we can. We have Stardust in here. Yay. 1 Mirror Force, because it's Mirror Force. Why not? And then, of course, we're going to be running 2 Dimensional Prison, because it's a great card to have into that. And the opponent runs right into that and gets banished. As far as our extra deck goes, our extra deck is really self-explanatory as well, you guys. And we're going to be going with 1 Chimeric Tech Fortress Dragon, because it can come out without the polymerization effects, which is really, really good. It's a setup place. We're also going with 1 Allied Justice Cataster. It's Cataster. You go in for your sure to go into for your value. Go ahead and set up for this here. You can special summon and get out for a level 8. More or less likely you would go out for your Stardust. You can go out for your Colossal Fighter, whatever have you. 1 Mistworm. It's Mistworm. Mistworm. The great thing about this guy is that at the time he was really expensive. He was going like $30, and now he's like, I think 10, maybe even 5. But this is great. Lets you return up to 3 cards your opponent controls to the hand. Why not? 1 Goya Guardian, same thing. Unfortunately, I had a bad thing in the past where actually one of my buddies, he was nice enough, he got me both of these cards, and they ended up getting stolen. So always be mindful of your belongings, guys, and always keep track of it. Anyways, Goyo takes one of your opponent's monsters and uses it against them, which is great. You can set up plays to go ahead and tribute it, or you can go ahead and attack them with it, whatever have you. 2 Armor Master. It's great. It's a wall, and it's big, beefy boy. Can't be destroyed by battle, which is great. You need to have that big wall out there, because at the time, people weren't really... You were using effects, but you were more on the attack formatting rather than all the effects happening at once as far as the chain goes. Then we have 2 Armwing, aka Super Soaker. It's great. It has piercing damage, gets an attack boost when hitting a defense monster, which is great. 1 Silverwind, it can get cheated out with the Armor Master and the value when it's in the graveyard. So you can bring out this, just start hitting real hard. 1 Colossal Fighter, it can come back. Pretty much, I mean, but it's mainly just there as a big heavy hitter. That's what we use it out for. 1 Magical Android gives a little bit of a life point boost, because you can run a lot of life point loss into this game, in this format at least. And then also you end up milling out your deck a lot when you're synchro summoning a lot with this deck. So you're always thinning out the decks. You're going to have resources to kind of like stay intact under the board, so you're not wasting everything and then you deck out. 1 Stardust Dragon is Stardust Dragon. We have our Starlight Road, and then it's a good go play to go ahead and negate effects. Why not? 1 Dark End Dragon, and once per turn you could have this card lose to 500 attack and defense to send 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard, which is great. Clears out the board, allows you to go ahead and get in for a free attack. 1 Black Rose Dragon. It's Black Rose Dragon. We use it out for the nuke effect. We don't use it for the plant effect because we're not running plants. It's Blackwings. We want to have as much freedom out onto the board to go ahead and just start attacking the opponent. Then we're going with finally One Thought Ruler Archfiend. Oh yeah. This card destroys an opponent's destroys a monster by battle and sends it into the graveyard. Allow you to go ahead and gain life points equal to the target of the attack, that's the original, in the graveyard. And then when a spell or trap is activated, targets the second monsters you control and others. With a quick effect, you can pay 1,000 and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. These are only 2-second monsters that we run into this thing, but these guys work hand in hand off from each other anyway, so it really helps out with the deck, to say for the very least. Now, we do have a side deck. Back in the day, I did not have a side deck, but now I do. And after further research and also based off my my grand intellect, I was able to actually come up with a good side deck. So we are actually going to be going with 2 Fossil Dyna. It's good heavy hitting card, and go ahead and special summon. Neither player can special summon, so that's all good. When it gets to flip the face up and then destroy all special summon monsters on the field. It's the nuke. It is the nuke. We also have 2 Cyber Dragon. Just like our Sirocco the Dawn, Cyber Dragon as well. Allows you to just go ahead and come out right away. You can easily level 5, and then that way you can go ahead and start synchro summoning right away if you need to, whatever have you. Then we're going with 2 Snowman Eater. It's Snowman Eater. When it gets a flip effect, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it. It's basically a man-eater bug. 1 Soul Release allows you to go ahead and banish cards from the opponent's graveyard, and then that way they won't be able to bring things back, and then that way it gives you a little bit of an extra advantage. 1 Mind Control, it's mind control. You take control of one monster, you can't tribute it or anything like that, but that's okay. You still use it towards synchro summoning, which is really, really good. Also, the monster can attack, so mind you onto that too. 1 Mind Crush, it's Mind Crush. It's always good to clear out for 1 name in the opponent's hand. If it has it, they discard all copies of that, which is really helpful in a type of spot. Then we're running 2 Skill Drain, because back then Skill Drain was legal. I mean, obviously it's legal now, but I mean back then it was a little bit harder to get by. So 2 Skill Drain actually, because they were limited down to 2 based off the ban list. And then we're having 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror. People run a lot of nasty stuff, especially when they're running Cyber Dragons. They're also running Lightsworn, so we want to be able to use that. The unfortunate downfall towards this deck is the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which basically targets all of our Blackwings, and it's not a good card to be in. And anyways, so then finally we're going to be going with Deck Devastation Virus. It's great, honestly. It's one of the best out there. Go ahead and hit out for the monsters. Eradicator Epidemic is not viable for this deck, at least the last time I had checked, as far as Edison format goes, so you can't run it. Current format is broken. Back then it would still end up being broken too, because not many people utilized for the spells and the traps. It was mainly monster based. That's why we run the Deck Devastation. But in any case, you guys, that's it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll see this thing into action once the locals start for Edison format. They already are starting, but I just haven't had the time to do it. But I'll give you guys post updates and based off records and everything like that. And I'll see you all into the next time. Happy gaming.